I'm Bill Heran, the author of the book The Missing Piece. Today's is March 14th, and the topic of today is self concept. And the quote is: "The longing to belong and to be prized by one's peers permeates childhood and adolescence. It can be compelling and anxiety provoking at any time in our life, as in the common dread of cocktail parties and adult attests." That quote comes from Gene Safer. Despite being the most sophisticated living thing on the planet, we continue to have a primitive need to be acknowledged, recognized, and even admired by others. People's impressions of us are so important, and they help to form the way we think about ourselves, our self concept, as we say. Starting from a very young age, we build views, morality, and judgments about ourselves through what we believe people are saying or thinking about us. These impressions start from our primary caregivers and continue to present day with social contacts at work and at play. Social interactions become a primary source of perceived data and inform a mind filtered narrative about you and the way you think and feel about yourself. There's no denying that our sense of self is partially defined by others and partially by our day to day experience in the world. Our self concept changes over time, though. We may see ourselves as vulnerable within a particular context at one period, then not so much at another period in our lives. The evolution of how we define ourselves is obvious, but our challenge is to avoid being defined exclusively by the opinions, thoughts, and statements of others. 20th century psychologists wrote and studied a great deal about the topic of self concept and human development. Carl Rogers taught that a healthy human person is evolving towards self actualization and the richness of what it means to be fully human. However, he believed that there needs to be a state of congruence for this is to be achieved. For this to be achieved. Congruence is attained when we heighten our awareness to our inner state of emotions, perceptions, and thoughts, that they are consistent with our behaviors. Much of what Rogers advocates for is for each person to ascend towards a most authentic self with agency and minimizing any discrepancy between our self concept and reality. For example, we may see ourselves as giving and charitable, yet avoid homeless individuals begging on the street and speak negatively about people behind their backs. As you might imagine, living in a way that avoids these discrepancies decreases inner conflicts and can promote inner peace. What is your self concept? Does your practice of awareness add to congruence in your life? Let's begin to practice compassionate congruence towards our true self. Thank you, and thank you for joining me today with the reading, and I look forward to you joining me with future readings of The Missing Piece.